Good morning, everyone. I hope you are ready for a great week. I am ready for a great week. The weather is going to be beautiful. We're going to be able to get outside, get some fresh air, maybe open the windows in your house. I don't know. I'm all about it. Give us some vitamin D from the sun and give us a little renewed energy. So, keeping that in mind, let's really try to stay on top of our work this week so that you can get outside and enjoy the weather. All right, come to class, get your work done when it's supposed to be done, and then enjoy your afternoons. It's going to be great. Okay, here's our agenda for the week. Today, we are going to revise and edit our draft and turn in a final copy. I'll go over that in a second. Tuesday, we're going to read and annotate two news stories, which are actually really good. They're very short and they're both mythology um, about Hercules and Atlas. They're actually really good. So I think you'll enjoy that. Wednesday, we're going to do a Google form. And then Thursday, we're going to work on another organizer for the myth and a draft. And then Friday, we have First Chapter Friday. So let's talk about today. So, the first thing I want to tell you is that I read all of your essays, at least those of you that turned them in, and all of your organizers from Machu Picchu. And for the most part, I was pretty impressed with what I saw, especially since we really haven't done an essay per se this year. Um, and you really probably haven't done one in about a year, maybe even more with COVID and all that kind of good stuff. So I was impressed with what I saw, and everything is up to date in Progress Book except for First Chapter Friday. That's the only thing that I haven't graded yet. So your drafts are graded, your organizers are graded, your annotations from last week are graded. So make sure you check that out. If you have any questions, let me know. Now, the reason why I say this is because the grade that you got on your draft that you turned in on Thursday was out of 10 points. And quite honestly, it was a really easy 10 points because we were only looking for certain things. We were looking to make sure you had 4 paragraphs. We were looking to make sure you had a thesis statement. We were looking to make sure you had those yellow key ideas. And then we were looking to make sure you had any kind of evidence. As long as you had any kind of evidence, you got a point for evidence. So, really, as long as you had just the basics without us looking at your evidence specifically or capital punctuation sentences, nothing like that, it was a pretty easy 10 points. I would say 95% of you got 10 points on that. So, even if you got 10 points on your essay, there's still going to be room to revise. And then we're going to go through that today. So I don't want you to look at your essay that you turned in your draft on Thursday and say, well, I got a 10. I don't need to do anything to it. That's not the case. And I'll talk you through that today. So let's just remember the parts that your essay had to have. It had to have this green intro. It had to have a yellow key idea. And then it had to have some red evidence, and then another yellow key idea, some more red evidence, and then a green conclusion at the end. So that's the format it followed: paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, paragraph 4. Now, there are going to be 2 steps to what we're going to do today. Okay, step 1. Step 1 is you're going to pull up your draft that you turned in on Thursday. I've returned them to you. And I graded them on a rubric, but I didn't make any comments on purpose because I want you to see if you can find the things that perhaps need to be fixed. And the way we're going to do that is by highlighting our docs, highlighting our drafts. Okay. So this looks like a lot, but it's really not. So, paragraph 1, for instance, you're going to highlight your introduction. This says right here, you should have 3 highlights, and they're all going to be in green. You should highlight the sentence that shows your hook, which remember was like your quote or your question or whatever got your reader interested in what you were reading, probably your first sentence. Then you're going to highlight the sentence that gives the background info on Machu Picchu. And then you're going to highlight the sentence that contains your thesis statement. So you're going to have 3 separate highlights in paragraph 1. I don't want to see you just copy the whole, I just don't want to see you highlight the whole paragraph green. I want to actually see 3 separate highlights: your hook, your background info, your thesis statement. Paragraph 2, you're going to highlight your key idea in yellow. That should be your first sentence. Okay. Then you should have 4 red highlights: evidence, then its explanation, and then your second piece of evidence and its explanation. Okay. And we also need to see credit given to the author. So you're going to need to say, like, according to passage 1, paragraph 2, the author states this, or according to the UNESCO article, it says this. So even if you're not using a direct quote, you still have to give credit to the author or to the passage. Okay. Paragraph 3, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to highlight your key idea yellow. Then you're going to have 4 separate red highlights: evidence explain, making sure, again, you give credit to the author. Then finally, paragraph 4, you should have 2 green highlights in your conclusion. One, you should highlight the part that restates what you talked about in your essay, which is kind of like where you take your thesis statement and change it just a little bit, or just go back and kind of explain your key ideas. You're going to highlight that in green. And then you're going to highlight your actual conclusion sentence in green. So your last sentence, whether it's a quote or whatever it might be, you're going to highlight that in green as well. So to help make this a little bit easier, we made a revision checklist for you, and it's all color coded. Okay. So in your introduction, it shows you that you need to have 3 things highlighted: 1, 2, 3. Okay. And it tells you they need to be highlighted in green. Body paragraph 1, you should have 5 things highlighted: 1 yellow, 4 red. And then also, this doesn't need to be highlighted, but you need to make sure, did you use citations, which means you gave credit to the author, credit to the passage. Body paragraph, whoops, that's supposed to be a 2. Body paragraph 2, same thing. You've highlighted your yellow key idea, evidence explain, and you use citations. Then your conclusion, again, needs to have 2 highlights in it: restatement of your thesis and your wrap up statement, your conclusion. So here's how you do this. You're actually going to check this off. I'm going to show you how to do it. So if you just drag the over, sorry, I did that wrong already. If you just drag, this has worked 800 times and now it's not working. Oh my gosh. Seriously, this is the easiest thing. I've done it 400 times today. Hold on. Okay, I think I got it now. If you just highlight the boxes, look how easy it is. No, but seriously, I don't know why it was being goofy. If you just highlight the boxes and then right click on them, see this little check mark? If you click on that, it'll check them off. Isn't that cool? So then you can say, yep, did it. Okay. Or you can do one at a time. I promise you really can. See, 1, like, okay, I highlighted my hook. I'm going to check it off. And then once you highlight the next one, you can check it off. So again, you just highlight the box and right click on it, or double finger tap, right? And then it'll pull up the little check mark and you can check it off. So you're actually going to turn in this checklist today so that we can make sure that you have actually checked off all of the items. Okay. So you literally are just going to go into your draft. Who can I bug? Who won't mind? Let's see. Let me find somebody. All right. Otherwise, because I don't want you guys to be like, I don't know what you mean by highlight. All right. Let's harass somebody that turned in an essay who won't mind. Gavin won't mind. Gavin, you're the lucky winner. You won't mind. Gavin did really well on his draft. Okay. So this is what I mean by this. So in the first paragraph, we need to highlight the hook, the background info, and the thesis statement. So let's look at Gavin's. Here is his hook, which is usually the first sentence. So we're going to highlight that green. Gavin, I'll get rid of this so it doesn't bother you. Then we're going to highlight the thesis statement. I want to do that one next. Then we're going to highlight the background info on Machu Picchu. So it looks like the whole first paragraph is highlighted, but I can see these breaks, so I can see that he has 3 separate highlights in there, okay? And then he's going to come down to his key idea, because remember, key idea yellow, evidence explain, evidence explain. So his key idea is going to be yellow. And then I see some text evidence right here. We're going to highlight that red, and so forth and so on. So really, most of your doc, if not all of your doc, is going to be highlighted by the time you're done with it, okay? And that's how you would do it. Gavin, let me get rid of this so as not to mess up your flow here. But that's what I mean when I say I want you to highlight your doc. You're actually going to go through, you're going to use this checklist, and you're going to highlight all of these things. Because number one, it helps you see if you're missing anything. And number two, it helps me when I grade it so I understand, like, oh, that's what they wanted to use for their evidence in case I don't understand. Okay. And then as long as you used a citation in that paragraph, like according to paragraph 3 or something like that, you can check this off. You just have to have one in each paragraph. Okay. All right. So that is step 1 today. Step 1, again, if we look at this slide, is to highlight, which we just talked about, and then fix any parts you missed. So let's say you go through this checklist and you're like, oh, shoot, I only have one piece of evidence in paragraph 2. Okay, not a crisis. Add it in. This is your chance to make your draft perfect, or as close to perfect as we can get it. I guess nothing's actually perfect, but as close to perfect as we can get it. So if you're missing something on the checklist, add it in. Just put it into your doc. You don't have to put it back into your graphic organizer. You're just putting it into the draft. You're not retyping your draft. You're just using what you've already done, and you can add to it if you need to, and then you can check it off of the checklist. Okay, so step 1, highlight your doc and fix any parts you missed. Now, if you have these all checked off, then you don't need to fix anything, okay? Then, step 2, you're gonna need to grab a partner. Now, when I say grab a partner, it can be a friend, it can be a family member, it can be a brother or sister, it doesn't matter. You need to grab a partner, all right? And you're actually going to tell me who your partner was. I wanna know, is it your mom? Is it your older brother? Is it your neighbor? Is it your friend from class? Whoever. I want you to get a partner, and you are actually going to show your doc to your partner. So whether it's presenting your screen or letting them look at your Chromebook, whatever it might be, and then you are going to read it aloud. I know, a little out of our comfort zone, but you're going to show them your doc and you're going to read it to them out loud. There's 2 reasons for that. One, because it's easy to catch a mistake when we have to read our essays out loud. That's when we catch our mistakes because we say it out loud and we're like, oh, wait, that doesn't make sense. And then we can fix it. And 2, it's going to give your partner a chance to give you feedback on something that maybe needs to be fixed. It's just another set of eyes. Like, Elliot, I'm calling you out because I know you already did this. So you may not need to do this step because you already had somebody take a look at yours, which I thought was smart. So they're going to give you feedback. You're going to be looking for these things. Do you have capitals where they're supposed to be? Do you have punctuation in the correct spots? Did you write incomplete sentences? Did you include those citations, like according to passage 1, paragraph 3, or according to the UNESCO article? Okay. Did you use citations? What else? What else needs to be fixed? Are there words that are, not used correctly? Is there a part that doesn't make sense? Let that person help you make this as close to perfect as you can. I'm okay with that, you guys. That's real life. Having other people look at your work and give you feedback is real life. It's not cheating, it's not work in the system. It's what we do. It's what I do. I have other teachers look at my stuff like, hey, does this make sense? Will this work? It's real life. So take this opportunity to do that. And then once you've done the revising with the highlighting and then the editing with a partner, you're going to upload your doc to this assignment and turn it in for your final copy. And then I'm going to grade that one for all of this stuff. So your draft just got graded for the basics, just the bare basics. Did you have the things we asked you to have? This one I'm going to actually grade on the quality of your evidence. Did you explain your evidence? That's really important. Did you cite your evidence? Does it make sense? Did you use grammar correctly? Like, this is where it counts. So I want you to really have another set of eyes on it to make sure that it's exactly how you want it to be. Okay. All right. I think that's it. So today is a revision and editing day. So take your time with this because really this is your chance to like look back through it and make it again as close to perfect as you can. It's just a really good opportunity to get it where you want it to be. All righty. So, if you have any questions, come see me. I do need to tell you that my afternoon office hours are going to be cut short this week. I'm only going to be able to have office hours until about 2:25 each day. Now, I'll make up that extra 20 minutes either in the morning or at another time during the day. But if you need me, email me and I will set up a time with you. I never mind doing that. Okay. But I did want to let you know about office hours. I just have a weird week with my kids this week where I need to pick them up early from school. So just this week, I'm going to have to cut office hours short, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean you can't get help. So email me and I'm here to help. All right. I'm excited to see your final drafts. They turned out really good. Like, I was really impressed. So let's um, get her done and we'll move on to mythology tomorrow. All right, guys. Happy Monday. Get some fresh air.